4 points, 10 of them from the placement, 14 of them from kill points. Literally, no team below them right now has 10. We're not in double digits. Nobody.
So now here's the next look for Na'Vi. Now, we know they have the southern drop, but if you watch the PEL, you saw them towards the end of it, dropping up towards the north. They have a backup location, and they're also good at using it. Now, whether or not it becomes a factor, we're yet to see. Keep your eyes across the board at everyone else as well. G2 heading further northeast than you'd expect, going to go all the way up towards Campo Militar. That's very free, considering in the, I guess, again, PEL, there's a lot more teams up there. This time, not so much. Where is everyone else? I'm seeing the Knights, Team Liquid quite close by. I don't think we'll see any initial clashes. They kind of moved that out of the way.
Players usually grab vehicles and move to the home turf. They might necessarily have to be able to.
They're very far south for that.
Yeah, they've gone further afield. I don't think they'll go over to Kumasira or Monte Nuevo. They'll probably linger down in the southern area of the map.
Oh, hold on. Do we have Singularity in the Knights?
Exchange?
Yeah, I think maybe looking for vehicles, looking for something. I don't know what they're looking for, but they found each other, and Singularity have the gun. And that's not what you want to be seeing. The Knights have 2 players here. I don't know how much they've got. And you can see Pomade just trying to get everything he can. The Knights are getting geared up. This could be a big fight to start with. Wanted, Snark, both over there. Look at Snark. He's daring to go forward. The nades coming through as well, but there's the circle coming in as well. Northeast circle. Big difference here. Cruz de Val will be slap bang, kind of, I guess, slightly northeast of it, but that's beyond the point. It looks like Pomi's going to be put to the test. Spotted up top, but that barrel can do some damage. Let's not underestimate it, but yes, it can. There goes Wanted. There goes Snark. It's a 2-piece pickup for Pomi. That is huge. What a absolute blunder from the Knights.
A gun with the 7.62 just absolutely demolishes 2 players, flicks them back to back. Job done. 2 points, beats them down for the sake of it as well. Yeah, that's a big poor start there, unfortunately. Losing 50% of your squadron like that in the first literally few seconds of the match. It's always devastating when you go into these engagements because so earlier on you're lacking the vest, you're lacking the health.
So coming into GLL, we have our loot spots pretty set. One of them on Erangel, we know the rotates. We're pretty good with Rosok rotates. But we have moved into a new spot on Miramar, and we're learning the rotates there. But we're still pretty damn confident, in our rotates.
And that's our new third caster. Welcome to the casting team, Atletico player. They did do really well in the first game, though.
I mean, at least extreme finish, what we're going to try and say. I'm okay with it. Let's talk about the circle then and move on from that previous comment. Circle is all the way up in the north. Tomi Owada, you will see G2. They're going to be laughing. This is a night and day scenario for them in a night and day circle from game number 1 all the way up in the north. And it's even so far shifted. They're actually going to be missing the top end of it. We're missing top end of that circle. So we're probably going to be coming down somewhere between water treatment, maybe Thierry Bronca, bobbing around that trifecta of cities, Tori Amada, where we'll see G2 setting up shop, El Azhar potential. You have this dip and this huge road, right, that runs pretty much parallel straight through all the middle of them. And you can see now, C9, they're actually running parallel to it through the fields, up past water treatment on the backside of those hills, because it does go quite high. Singularity, they'll be happy. They'll be laughing off the 2 points they picked up early game. They can now reposition themselves into somewhere better. The Knights have to play off the back foot of losing 2 players. Yeah, it's a little bit more relaxed, I want to say. This circle, you don't have to go rushing around, except if you face climb, you have a bit of a trek.
Well, you say that, and I somewhat agree, but I also think the rotation routes are pretty rough again. I don't know the timing on this. This is a bit of a longer looting area for Team Liquid. They're normally on the go very quickly, so maybe feeling they want a little bit more to play with, or they're just not in the hurry. They traditionally do not like the northeastern circle, so this could be a tough one for them. But we'll see how it plays out. Atletico, heard from earlier, heading their way in, going to be looking for their initial spot. Water treatment is always a big pickup, especially the surrounding area where K-Mine currently resides. Is actually a very traditionally heavy looked for spot. But G2 are very close by to this, just slightly further north. These are the teams that are already kind of somewhat safe. They could clash with each other, but they don't have to worry about everyone else for now. Atletico going to head up further on the western side of water treatment. You do see that little bit of a scuffle with I guess, Ghost to their Singularity. You've got maybe Tempo Storm, but I feel they're going to head further east, utilize the area they're in. Na'Vi have a very nice approach to this, but I don't know if they're going to be aware of the timing from Atletico, who are very much up for a fight.
Yeah, that's the danger point. They might have the Equilibrium or the clash directly in front of them, as there are those solid compounds, the hangers. I think they're going to go further afield, more towards the ridge side, see if anyone's lingering. I like this proactive scouting. Not so much to see if anyone is further afield. You will see Atletico, they'll misdirect from the north and head a little bit more to the south around water treatment because it is clear. So they're in there now, and they'll move towards the plateau just to the right-hand side, which gives them bigger and better viewership and stops anyone advancing behind them. It is messy in there, so you don't want to get stuck inside.
Ooh, I do wonder how far Na'Vi swim across here. Because you potentially have G2, Atletico, and Na'Vi, and I guess somewhat Cloud9 for now, all looking for somewhat similar of an area. G2 are very split up as well. Looking where Kane is currently, he's actually isolated on the other side of the road. It's a tricky spot to be in because if teams are rotating past and they just catch a glimpse, they could pull up on that if they feel it. It's a risky time to pull up, but that eastern road is getting a lot of traction as well, Rich. You've got 3 teams currently heading up the longer route. The western side will have the Rumblers there, probably the Knight, Space Station Gaming's over there, and of course FaZe. They'll be working their way in, but it's a bit of a straight line down here so far.
I thought Na'Vi were going to leave 2 behind just below the Oasis on that hillside to maybe watch that main road. They're not. They're regrouping as a 4, so either they've caught a glimpse of a team here or know what's going to be in front of them. Chris is on his own, but generally doesn't matter because he just batters everyone anyway. SSG once again could play spoiler and third party. It's a bit messy in there because Atletico's split the pile. They've gone 2-2 as well. C9's in 2-2 Singularity.
That could be brutal.
There are so many teams that are split here. It's going to be really messy, losing these individual players and then causing problems. Ibi struggling to get upside the hill. Takes a bullet to the side of the face, but does continue onwards. He's going to be weak. He'll have to find shelter and get healed up to the max. Santi. Into the next one, fall victim here to Shrimzy's mini with a 6 times. Incognito, they've just made it on the circle. Down on the bottom, we're going to have a scuffle. It looks like the Canids are just going to be flying past a bit loft. So a bit of a scuffle, but again, nothing. No one's going to go down, no one in endangerment, unless one of PS has actually set up shop and awaits them. He's out the car. Let them go by, that's fine. And again, a bit more quieter. You've seen the 2 frags at the start that came off the back of that engagement with the Knights. Rather unfortunate for them. We might have problems. I'm seeing, wait a minute, a roadblock here. I'm glad we jumped onto it. Beautiful observing in the back. Uber, vehicle on fire. Magnified up and was waiting for it. This is really good read from the Rumblers.
Yeah, it's an excellent read. Uber's got out though. Microfine needs to be a little bit careful. This could get turned on. He does have support there and a hillside to fall to. Uber now bought himself a second or 2, but that's not a great deal of time. He needs to find a way forward. Fastpace is further down the road, but Uber's on the run. He's on foot, and these guys are chasing it. This would be revenge. This would be a nice way back for them. FaZe know they were there. They also scouted this to some degree. 80's on the way, Mexi's on the way. But still, Uber's out on an island. He's trying to be kept safe by Fuzzface right now. The support team is here, but he might be left for dead.
Force this one into the blue. Nice play from Uber while they just backed off for a second. Got a quick dink and then just belted it across the road. He can hold them dead to rights on his own. This could be a potential trade-off here for FaZe Clan. They lose one. We've seen Uber go down a few times. He is that man who can play alone. He has the ability to do it. Hold them here and maybe give the information to the rest of FaZe. And I looked across at the map. I saw it, and so did the observers in the back.
Different.
They did wait for that one. They were out of the vehicles hiding behind them. They waited for FaZe.
They were set up on that.
Yeah.
Now, that could be Uber playing spoiler to them pretty soon if he gets a clear glimpse. But the circle shifted quite far, I guess, south of water. I know a lot of teams are going to really fight for those, I guess, high-value spots. They're actually open just south of water treatment. That compound is actually there. Cloud9 have one southeast of it slightly. And this is going to be contact made. K-Mine's seeing this. He can scout it all he wants. James? Oh, James, you're doing some tricks here, my guy. K-Mine spraying away, trying to get a little tap through, but not much coming out of that one. He did get a tag, but it's certainly not going to equate to the frag for now. He can fall back. He's warded away other teams. Atletico need to consider where they're going to go because now Oh, wait, Shrimzy. He's going to get spotted. Yeah, that should be a pickup for Bitloft, and it is. Quick kill, and that must have been the car being spun out or something to be left in that sort of position.
There it comes through. Should be a confirmation. Dead to rights. Bye-bye, Shrimzy. Ghost not having a great game. Woman moving into game 2, already losing players early. They've got a good compound though, so as you say, you'd expect the vehicle to have been spun out and not been able to regroup themselves with the rest of the roster. Tempo Storm, the circle unfortunately bounces away from them, so they are forced to run the gauntlet as previous. They managed to get second, fair play. Not many kills in the bag, really. What can you do when you have to go up against 4 Na'Vi players staring down the laser sight, scoping you out? I mean, your boy Dre did what he can, and he put up a valiant last stand, but unfortunately, they come out second.
He was still alive, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to touch on that one. He held them for a while, and it was good because it allowed FaZe to continue onwards. I mean, I wonder what the play there was. Maybe it was just a couple of points. Maybe it was to be a set of stands, maybe be a nuisance. If this backfires for the Rumblers, that's, yeah, that's a bit of a monk-S. Still slightly quiet. C9, good foothold. Liquid, good foothold. The Knights, they'll go passive. When you're down to 50%, you have to. Atletico have backed off from where they were. They went into a 2-2 split to try and see further afield. And now they're inside the water treatment. G2, they're making a bit of a rotation, but deeper into the circle. LV more passive up in the north. It paid off last time. See if it goes the same again. AUG. Netra's already got an M4, so it's not the biggest upgrade in the world, but you're going to go for the level 3 gear, vest and helmet. Happy days. We'll go for the AUG as well. It's still always a better gun than the ones that are going to be on the map. It's not the strongest with it being the 5.56, but if you're not very good at spraying, that thing has 0 spray pattern altogether.
I think all of these players are probably all right at that.
Just a bit.
You know,
You'd have
somewhat,
you'd assume.
Somewhat, you'd hope. Tempo Storm playing the edge game down the southeast side, getting a couple of shots through. Just trying to get some. Who is that popping off shots over the shoulder of them? I think it might be Incognito with some ambitious shots coming out. And I wouldn't put it past one of these players. Now, you can see the kind of, I guess, mass amount of these players and teams heading towards water treatment. It's just, it feels like a very common factor. C9, Atletico actually have a really good shout at this one. I like that 2-2 split. It's dangerous because you can lose a lot of vision when you're in water treatment itself. It's very hard to have all line of sight safe. And it's shifted further south. This brings Hacienda back into play, San Martin back into play. Plenty of that southern side is actually available. Tempo Storm can really shift in there quick. So can the Rumblers. This opens up a lot for some of these teams who are on the outskirts playing edge to really kind of find their foothold now.
Rumblers have got to go. I'm liking this. I'm seeing them in the vehicles and they're just belting it to San Martin. That's fine. FaZe Clan as well, deeper in the circle. They can't go too far because the Knights are already ahead of the game. Liquid, they will hold C9 back. G2's on the back door as well. C9, potential here to get crushed between 2 rosters. This is going to be dangerous because they have an open field. They don't have to rotate if they don't want to. They are still inside the white. I think G2's going to head to this one.
Oh, this is a big pickup for FaZe. That's revenge as well. SSG were the spoilers that came through and that FaZe kind of got blended all together. But that's a nice little pickup. Bahawaka and Hetra not having a chance to get into things. And I'd love to see Bahawaka really kick off on this one. He had that bolt action. We all get excited to see it. Didn't have the chance to. And again, FaZe dig their heels in. They're holding 2 compounds on that side. They're looking almost stubborn in the way they're approaching. That southeast side is getting very, very busy as well. That's K-Mine having a little look here and knocking the door as G2. I would not want to be fighting these guys in these open fields. They scare me, G2. They really do. Kane does get warded away, but where is Chris? Chris is off on an island. That's fine. Don't worry about Chris. He'll do his own thing. And we do now see a lot of these teams getting picked apart here. Singularity, Pummy did get the first blood, but he gets traded on. So that's going to be the Red Canids finding a way back through here. And again, that's that kind of, I guess there's a lot of these teams looking for ways forward. Atletico struggling this time, coming forward and getting caught out by the Knights. They maybe send it a little bit too risque for their own taste.
Scaling here, they have the info at least.
Oh, Incognito might be pulling up here as well.
I mean, G2 are battered. We saw one of the players go down and was confirmed.
Oh God, Ronan. Woof, was driving that, good job.
Nade could have been a bit lower if it were an underball one. It could have been good. Balor holds the angle for now as they do make the approach onto this building. They will get inside, but not without damage. Drassel's on the opposing end. And remember, if you're upstairs, the only way to get to the upstairs is through either door. But
oh, Drassel.
You can't leave that unchecked. Oh, that grenade.
It wasn't ticked. He had time. Nicely worked out from Drassel. Takes his time. That's going to confirm what he started with that Scar. Looking for more, though. This guy is an animal. Balak's moving up as well. They can smell blood in the water. They know it's not going well for the other side. Why not pressure while the wounds still sore? You can see the Aussie boys trying to stay alive here, find a little bit of cover, a little bit of a respite, and there really isn't much. They're going to be breaching this one little by little, step by step. They get closer to taking out Incognito, and you can see Balak clearing it very meticulously.
I like the aggression. Send Balok to one corner. Let him hold it, get the knock, and then just advance in. Done a fair amount of damage, but the problem is Incognito are here. They have to deal with them, clear them out, and they continue their game and do their normal
New circle
thing.
shrink. Ooh, okay.
It has been favourable to... Oh,
actually,
wait.
Here we go. Yeah, that's the nade coming back out. Yes, Incognito are cornered, but put an animal in a corner, they'll come out and give you the fight of their life. And, well, we'll see what they can do with it. Balok is down to 1 HP as well. This is basically on Drassel to try and temper this to ensure that no one can really push off the back. And that's exactly what Incognito want to do. Pressure it back again. McCoy's bleeding out pretty quickly, so they're going to have to keep this one in mind. Keeps you around the corner. Incognito certainly wants some hearts before. Spots down Balok up above, trying to be a little bit of a Batman there doing the damage. And oh, Juicy up above, sprays down! And that is a big pickup, going to punish the Ghost Boys. Balok there. This is madness and mayhem in the smoke. Ghost walk out with it, but they lose everything in the process. And here is the crash on the compound. G2 coming down the hill. Chris is there, Erdia is there, Kane is not. But H1 and K-Mine better be careful.
He's got a rock to play with, so the res might be possible. There is a player up on the backside of the hill. C9 chomping at the bit to try and get into this one and maybe finish them off and secure this compound for themselves, but they can't do too much. We move across the baseline. Looks like there is a push up here. Na'Vi directly in front of them, previous champions. This is going to be a big battle. It's a battle for the circle. This is the only way in. One of these two teams will be going down. You cannot share this compound. There's no escaping it. FaZe, they're all committing. They have to push this. They have to go through.
Uber's already found one. Senya's falling. FaZe almost feeling entitled to this one. You can see the smoke coming up from Uber, allowing his teammate to move forward here. This is smart play. This is keeping everything in mind. They're trying to tick the boxes to allow them to play out of it. Pokemon, your last man standing from 0 to 0, and that nade is certainly not worth its weight in any sort of amount. Pokemon needs to move up, maybe trying to buy time. Uber is lingering, lurking. He's found an angle to play with, but he can't get out from this, and he knows it. He's pinned in, and FaZe are out for blood here. They want those points. They want the way in. 5 kills already. That is a big amount. Uber, peekaboo. Don't get ahead of yourself here. It's still Pokemon. There's still danger. And let's see if he can do any more.
Not enough damage, so there's 2 of them. They can send it. Job done. Previous winners now in 15th. Just before them, Incognito. Oh, turned on a dime. Udia spins around. Job done. They keep control of this one. G2 take the base. It looks like they lose one in the process just up on the back of that hillside, but the bullets keep on flying from a distance. Liquid have the read on this. And so do Hell Yeah Brother, actually, all the way up against the edge of the circle. Nice smokes from FaZe allow the teammates to do collapse on this one, send them out. Ghost, not looking great for them. The circle's good, but with a 16th place and only one person alive, it's not the best scenario in the world. Drayden, interestingly, as a 2-man band, still going strong. Now the Rumblers out of the
They get nade through that roof, Rich.
We've seen it before.
We have, and there's the first. Lost HD.
Oh.
And there's the follow-up. Rumblers getting rumbled. Can't run, can't hide. The nades will find you. Singularity.
Here's his follow-up.
Is this going to fight?
Ooh, baby.
That was nice. You love to see that. Now, my attention turns to the likes of Tempo Storm, to Liquid, to Athletico. I can't underestimate them now, but FaZe Clan on 6 kills is a big, big number to look at. Jeans can be trying to unleash towards his EU brethren. 12 teams remain, though, in the new circle. Centering up towards the western side, north of Hacienda. Well, still has a bit of Hacienda in it, but center point is north. Drayden, good spot. Real's good spot. Athletico still safe. Team Liquid still safe. FaZe need to move. G2 need to move. Hell Yeah Brother need to move. And we have a crash coming in towards the remainder of Ghost Gaming. Balok is going to be on notice here.
Keep an eye on that kill feed, see if he does go down. He does. Balok's gone. 12th position for Ghost Gaming. Valiant effort. They didn't go out in 16th again, so it's better. They regrouped a few points on kills. It's better than nothing. It's not the best position in the world. Tempo Storm. Only way to get better is to win this one. Singularity in front of them. Left-hand side, Space Station Gaming, another NPL roster. FaZe Clan, time for them to move. They are going to be well up against this one. Atletico and Liquid are right in front of them.
Yeah, this is nasty. Wait, they're going right towards Liquid. Ibby, pre-nade, in it goes. He's going to try and buy time on this, but Ace's got an angle on him. Ibby's in danger here, surrounded on all fronts. He is in trouble. Left, right, center. He gets down. Uber, is there more to be found? Or is he done for? Jepti's nade finds 8 see. James is on the run. Look at this flank from this guy. Pure confidence at its finest. Falls away, does the damage. Is there a third party? It's actually the Knights claiming some of these kills. So everyone's piling on it. FaZe knew they had so few options. And you're seeing it right in front of you. Fuzzface, last man alive, has to move away.
And unfortunately, they'll be running right into the open arms of Atletico. This should be bye FaZe Clan. There you go. That's a bit unfortunate. From the arms of Team Liquid into the arms of the Aussies. We move them across because we do have a breach here. Speaking of Aussies, hell yeah, brother, they've turned up. Bitloft, they've got to fight for this one. 2 till still standing. If they get this fight, they'll be able to get the reses and continue forward with a full 4-man stack. There's damage on the opposing side as well. Red Canids, that's a third party coming into this one at distance.
And they're in such a good spot. Do not underestimate that. And look at these. That's some pressure coming through. And Bidloff I thought they might have had a way better shot at that. But the third party completely destroyed it. G2 looking like they want to maybe find a fight towards Liquid, but it is not something you should be doing. Tempo Storm claiming Hacienda as their home as Singularity hit the deck. They are not moving. They don't want to peek this. They could play spoiler, sure, but it ain't fun to be fighting against Tempo Storm. These guys can be deadly, and if they get a glimpse, a spot, something, they'll certainly capitalize.
Especially being up on that roof, there's certain areas and pockets you can traverse around there to give yourself cover. You can drop down to the little rooftops, the little ledges. There's a safety net behind it, even though you are exposed when you are up on top. Circle.
Nice.
Favourable. There's still plenty of space to play in the middle. That will give you a good defilade to at least hide in. Liquid, they're sitting pretty. 4 up as well, moving into this one, into the top 10. Hell yeah, brother, were gifted by the Red Canids and allowed to regroup themselves and get back on the feet. But the problem is now they're outside the circle, and basically in front of them is a complete open field. You get a couple of barrels here and there, but apart from that, they are well and truly exposed to the weather and the elements outside.
Yeah, this should be, if I'm honest, a Team Liquid game. If you're looking at it from a purely positional basis, you can say the Red Canids are in a great spot, but then you look at caliber, pedigree, this should be a Liquid game all day of the week. Gemty getting the spot, getting the tag. That's G2 on the move. They're going to try and centralize this one. They're kind of sending it pretty late here, getting to the slap bang middle of this spot, and Team Liquid are committing towards this one. They want a bit of that, because really that could be the spoiler to them. Look at that ridge line. It's so perfect to fight against Team Liquid if they have to move. Hell yeah, brother, are moving up as well. They found a little bit of cover in the open field. Not ideal at all, but it'll be home for now.
Better than nothing, and I'm surprised they've been allowed to get to that point. The Red Canids didn't capitalize on this.
Atletico
also have to send this one, so they've sent 2 out with the dogs, but unfortunately for them, the Knights, they are up on the top, and Atletico are getting hit from behind as well.
They are, but Tempo Storm are third partying. They've turned up as well, and right in the middle of the Knights, I think Drayden was your last man alive, and he got swept aside. Now the nades go further. Atletico know they're not out of the fire just yet, as Tempo Storm aren't far away, but while all this happens, G2 have somehow stayed alive here. Your boy Dre's keeping tabs on the back, making sure no one's coming through that way, because there is teams down there. You have Space Station Gaming and Singularity still down in the south, and there's a pick from afar. That is going to be the Red Canids again finding picks. That's big pickups.
What if that was off the back of the res? Oh, a certain player go down on the side of Tempo Storm, so maybe they just got caught off guard. With a bolt action like that, you'd assume that he was standing still and looking at a different angle.
God, this is a nice performance. 4 kills.
They're doing all right, aren't they?
That is good. I'm
surprised G2's still alive. I'm surprised no one's been... Oh, wait.
Hello, Rusty Zera finding nades. They found the range here. Look at the push out from them. Raspu's doing as well. Rusty Zera's going off on this one. G2's kind of forgotten about these guys. And Rusty Zera overextends, gets punished for that one. Is there anyone to keep him alive? You can see they're desperately trying to. Nice nades coming through. And hell yeah, brother are being battered from all angles. Sharky's now turned his attention back towards Hacienda as they've had to work this one out. Space Station Gaming fell to the trap of Singularity, but I think only one of them's going to be working their way out of there. I can't see the other anymore. Tempo Storm swinging back down south, but still, Rusty Zera is not getting up anytime soon.
Still, he's on his last stand there, unfortunately. Liquid.
That circle's very nice.
Oh, Ibiza, he may be tall. Wherever he go, the circle go. It's as simple as that.
He's got an angle. To be fair, as much as, yes, Liquid do have a really good spot.
Once the circle goes away from these,
they're screwed, yeah.
But
they do have the phase vehicles, I think, that came up to them. So
and the gear,
they
and the
could
meds,
still find a way out from
else
it. 9 smokes I just saw as well. So they've got a means. It's just not a fun run. And speaking of that, Oh, that's an accidental hop there. Gonna fall back to cover. Singularity's remaining man. 7 kills, big kill count here. Hell yeah, brother, still very much alive and kicking, at least in the hope of Vasily doing whatever he potentially can to try and keep hope alive. But again, for me, the Red Canids have been an absolute turn up for the books here. 6 kills, and this could be another. You gotta hit those shots though, Rusty's Era. 3 bullets is all he's got left. That ain't it.
Let's quickly touch on what happens next. All these teams have to make their way to the circle, but once they do, they're going to be battered, they're going to be bruised, they're going to be broken because they're shooting the living hell out of one another. Once you get there, Lauren, G2 is laying down, waiting for them. They'll arrive, their gear's going to be in all kinds of shapes and sizes, and if the damage as well from all the bullets that have been flying throughout this, regardless of who's left, might get basically mopped up by G2 here. You can't make an entry point to the west or the east of the circle because it's open. You have to go to the
shots! He misses the sitters and then bangs out those. Are you kidding me? Rusty Zera, this guy, still being a complete and utter nuisance. So you've got Tempo Storm right in the middle of Atletico and Red Canids. Now the Red Canids are not in the new circle. They're just trying to make their stand while they can. And you can see as to why. It's racking up points. And points do mean prizes in this situation. Atletico desperate, chomping at the bit to try and get those shots down towards Tempo Storm. It looks so delectable down there, but they just cannot commit the shots because the Red Canids are just firing over the top of them.
So many people, so many different angles. The Atletico finally strike. And they do go down. Zamprans is back. I think that's him on the last stance there, because as soon as they do.
And while all this happens, Rich, look who's going walkabouts. Team Liquid, perfect timing.
Moving further forward, but now it comes down to G2. The issue for G2 is that Liquid's allowed to position up around them. Okay, they might get a second place and scrape this one. But then once they go after it, look at how much ground Liquid is taking here.
But it's still not ideal ground. If G2 get out of this fight cleanly, they can turn this on a dime. And I wouldn't put it past them, but Chris just gets reminded that these guys can certainly keep up. Now, Red Canids, how much time can they cost them? And this is it. This is the time. Team Liquid are on the move, and they've managed to push up at the perfect time. But Braxico, he was watching it. He finds Shempty. The trade is there, though. Ibby comes back in, and suddenly we're seeing G2 being ripped apart by all sides. Team Liquid large and in charge for now, pushing up as best they can. James did get tagged and slowed it down, and the FPS with the steal towards Chris. Ibby's now on an island. He needs to be careful. The Red Canids are not out of this either. They still have the players up. You do have Udir still standing, so he can still be a danger. But caught in the middle, it was G2, and they've lost out on everything.
Liquid just has to be careful here. The smokes again will give some sort of information to where they are. They are in open fields. Should the Red Canids move more to the western side and take the uphill area, Ibby will be there to at least keep them in check as the bodyguard. Over the bouncers, try and put a stop on any movement from that vicinity. Udir will be essentially a focal point for both of these teams. He might just stay down, and if he does, and someone steps on the snake, they'll be getting bit.
Oh, here comes the utility. Does Liquid check for Udir? I think they will. James is very close by. Udir waiting patiently with bated breath. Backs away. Team Liquid toying with how much they can get away with. There's a center point. It is slap bang.
He smoked him
on it.
by accident.
Yeah, Udir's fine. But you can see this is almost mirrored. Look at how the Red Canids are approaching this. They're putting a lot of their, I guess, eggs in towards the basket, taking that hillside and working off the back of their Team Liquid. Do have center point, though. They are way closer to the middle here. The Red Canids need something to spur them on. They have no utility. They're very limited ammo left. They've been in so many fights. I can imagine their gear is broken and beaten. But what a performance from them so far. As they try and chip their way forward. You see the line being drawn here by Team Liquid. They have the angles they want. Samty is your fallback plan. He's still out in the field. He has Overwatch on all of this. Ibby up close. Gemty not far. Available to trade. James holding that eastern side. Wherever the Red Canids want to go, they have a very tough task on their hands as Ibby once more. He's starting to go looking, Rich.
Out of all this, though, Lauren, the issue for me is Udir. If he knocks one of the Liquid players, that becomes a real problem because they go down and man advantage.
Yeah, first point of contact.
He's been there for a while, right?
Yeah, he's been there the whole time. He's been there since that initial fight kicked off. And he somehow managed to work his way a little bit further down, finds a vehicle. Blue is moving in, and the Red Canids have not made their move while it was seemingly available. Forced to fight now. Samty spots out one. The second surely to follow. Ibby falls away from this as Samty unleashes fury. Udir comes out, but he finds one of the red cannons. This is bad news for the LATAM side as Jeems holds the line, says, no, you will not move forward. You will not get past go. Look at that spray from Gemty. This guy is a beast, a Liquid, doing it for the European region.
EMEA, 2 games back to back. This time it's Team Liquid with the win. 9 kills in total, 19-point game. Coming into this one, I can't remember which position, they're actually third.